everybody, it's Zach, aka Zach Reviews. We are back in with another video, and guys, this will be episode 8 of All-American. Spoiler review. I just cannot believe we are back, guys. It's been, I felt like forever since we've been back with this show. I feel like it's just been gone forever. Even though we went on break, I forget when last year when we went on break, but it just felt like the cliffhanger that we got on prom night was just insane. That cliffhanger with Jabari and the teammates taking Beverly's trophy and then them causing damages to the Beverly's gym and them not being able to have the prom there, and then they had to have it over at South Crenshaw's, and a joint prom following Billy finding GW having a heart attack in his office. There was a lot going down in that episode before we went on break, and I was so shook in the fact of it just felt like we were on break forever. But finally, we are back. This will be episode 8, and the name of today's episode was actually called Walk This Way, and we get a lot in this episode. Again, this is the aftermath of, we get to see what's going on in this episode. We get to see the aftermath of GW's heart attack. We get to see the aftermath of what's going to be going on with Spencer, and how the boards over in Beverly and the boards over at South Crenshaw are pretty much trying to debate on the fact of, they know Spencer is not the one that pulled the prank over at Beverly. They know it was one of Spencer's teammates, that Spencer is just trying to take the blame for his teammates taking Beverly's trophy. Even the Beverly principal even knows that Spencer's not the one that did that prank. Knows he wasn't the one that was in charge of that prank. He knows that he is just covering for his teammates, along with even Carter. Principal Carter even knows that Spencer had nothing to do with it, and he was just trying to defend his teammates. Mind you, he finds it, he finds it that's real inspiring that Spencer wants to do that for his friends. He finds it really, I think courageous that he finds it that, Spencer's willing to do that, but he knows that it's Spencer, are you really willing to put your future on the line? Are you really, because, they could expel you for this. Mind you, this is graduation time. This is the episode where they end up graduating. So everything is put on the line for Spencer, whether he's able to, whether he's, going to get expelled, whether he's going to get his diploma. And I was really worried that if they would even expel him, would they not, they're not going to let him walk. I was that there's a chance that they'll expel you and not let you walk in graduation, but are they going to give you your diploma? Mind you, I think it's legally they have to. I don't know how that all works. I think that they can expel you from, not letting you walk on graduation. I'm not sure if they're able to hold your diploma, but I was really worried when that, would that happen to Spencer? Would they expel him, because that was on the table, and not letting him walk in, in his graduation? But I was are they not going to give you your diploma? So that was what was going on in the story of what was going to happen, along with Jabari pretty much telling Spencer, yo, let me take the blame, because it was my fault. I am the one that did this. Let me tell the truth. And tell, the principal of, Beverly and the principal, and Principal Carter that I'm the one that did it, and you're just trying to take the fall. And they even knew that Spencer wasn't the one that did it, but they're please, just, the board wants anybody that was a part of this. Just give us one person, and now the rest of you guys can not get expelled, walk for graduation, and you guys can have your future. But we need one person to take the blame. And I know it's not you, Spencer. You have a bright future ahead of you, but that all goes to the problem where Spencer's that's the problem. You think my future is more important than anybody else's future, and that's what's problem. That's why that's what's wrong with the system, is that you see a good person or you see someone that's bad. Not that the fact that you guys are supposed to be here for us, supposed to guide us to a great future, guide us to from learning from our mistakes, but you guys are just going to cast us out and ruin our futures by not letting us by expelling us right before graduation, and knows that and anything by and knows how this could affect our record. This could affect this could be permanent damage, what we did at the gym. That could affect someone's record, to put it on their record, and that could affect any chances of any future jobs or future or future involvements in anything. Like, this could affect our futures, and you're supposed to protect us and help us learn from our mistakes. I'm not going to let you ruin somebody else's future, even though I'm not the one, even though, like, you know what I mean? Even though I'm not the one that did it. Like, I'm going to stand up and say I'm the one that did it. I really do. Like, that's just how Spencer is. He is always the hero. He is always not wanting somebody, he's like, no, like, he's always willing to stand up for other people. He's like, I'm not going to let you guys, even though you guys know I'm not the one that did it, I'm not going to let you guys just say, okay, the board wants anybody, and you guys could put that on their record, and you guys could expel them from school right before graduation and not let them walk in graduation. Even though, like, that's essentially, like, worst case scenario, you don't walk in graduation, but you still get your diploma, but it could go on somebody's record, and Spencer does not want that. Spencer's like, it was just a mistake. It was just a prank. It wasn't meant to, they didn't mean for that, any damages to happen like that, you know what I mean? But, like, it was just a prank, and you guys just let it, like, let us help us learn from our mistakes, but not put that on somebody's record that could ruin their future. And I really do like that. And it is mendable that, that is how it is in school society in general, is that, you can make a mistake, and then that one mistake could, lead into multiple problems, and that could ruin your record or ruin any future chances you have of making a life for yourself after you graduate. Or people get expelled for little things instead of people, instead of teachers and, principals, even though, like, parents trust teachers to look after us and to lead us in the right path to a good future after school. And they could ruin it like that. You know what I mean? Like, ruin somebody's life just like that, just from somebody making a mistake. And I feel like that's what, the writers are trying to show us through the story, is that, teachers are supposed to be there to, guide us and help us learn from our mistakes, not cast us out and expel us for stupid things, or do something that could ruin somebody's record, or like be put on someone's record that could ruin their future chances of getting into a college they like, or get a job that they like. It's just the fact of, people make mistakes, and we need to help people learn from their mistakes instead of casting them out. And I really do love that message in this story. But, that's what, Spencer and, and Jaubrey and all them are dealing with in this story. Along with going on to GW, the beginning of the episode, GW just wants nothing to do with Billy, hiring the aides for, GW to look after him and help him, because after his heart attack, he has a cane now. His functioning is a little bit hard. He shakes when he tries to pour drinks for himself, and he's having a lot of trouble right now with his motor skills because of his heart attack. So Billy hired somebody, and that was the main problem, because, Jordan walks in, and the one person, aide that, Billy hired, ends up walking out saying, I can't, he's a crazy man, this, and that, and pretty much, Jordan wants to help him, and then pretty much, GW's like, I don't need anybody's help, and you can see how that's really making Jordan angry, is that, GW is in the position where, like, somebody else is looking over Grandpa Willy, looking over his grandpa, and it's not Billy coming to try to help GW out, try to help his own father out. And Jordan really takes offense to that, saying, why haven't you seen GW since, since his heart attack? Why aren't you there helping him and all that? Like, it's wrong, just because of what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why aren't you there helping him? And he's like, I forget what Jordan said. Like, is it because, like you not wanting to have problems with him again? Like, what's the issue here? He's like, exactly. I'm not trying to have something spark up again where, like, me and him aren't talking anymore, because at this point, Billy is still kind of, like, traumatized from seeing his father like that, especially after what happened to his mom. So he's kind of like, he does not, like, he was like, oh my God, I can't believe, someone I looked up to, just, you know what I mean? Like, he kind of have the same situation that, Spencer had, like, someone that he looked up to, someone that was so big and someone was so full of life, be put in a position where, like, they felt human, you know what I mean? And you finally saw them as human in a situation, someone that you look up to that you don't think is untouchable. And then finally something happened to them that you're like, oh crap, and puts in a whole different perspective of the fact that he was angry at his father for all those years, what happened to his mother. And now it's kind of like, oh my God, me and my dad are finally on good terms, and I almost lost him. So kind of like, Billy doesn't want to be in the position where, like, he tries to help GW out, his own father out, and him try to be like, I don't need your help, I don't need this and have that, and have him be angry at Billy. and then them not be close, like how they're starting to get close now. He didn't want to lose their bonds again over, him trying to help him. He didn't want to lose him when he's like, it's better that I have somebody else help him, and I'm not, gonna try to, make conflict with him, and him get angry at me, and him never wanting to talk to me again for what little time he has left or whatever, because him having his heart attack and stuff. But mind you, his father doesn't want him to feel like, I'm fragile, I'm this, I'm that. GW is a very stubborn person. He's like, I'm not just going to let you, do this, trying to make you feel happy about yourself, that, that you can, you'll cut my food for me, do this, do that for me, even though that's not what Billy was trying to do. He's like, I want to be there for you. I just don't want you to get angry at me for me wanting to be here for you. And then you, like, not want to talk to me anymore, even though I don't want that to happen, because you're the only family I have left. And I'm going to be there for you, whether you're angry at me or not. If I'm, there trying to help you with something, it's just, you're going to have to suck it up. I need to be there for you as once you were there for me. Or kind of like, he didn't want it to be like a spiting thing, that I wasn't there for you, whatever. And now you get to be there for me, and it's kind of like, I was there for you, like you weren't there for me. So it's kind of like, it all comes down to him just being stubborn, Grandpa Willy. And I'm happy that they were able to resolve and able to figure it out, because at that one moment between Laura and, and Grandpa Willy was like a really nice moment. She's like, I love you, and I understand that, that you don't want, Billy to feel like you're, that you're like somebody that needs help 24/7 and just like and you know what I mean, and like a burden or whatever. But like, I'm gonna be here, for you, even though you treated me like crap all those years. I'm still gonna be there for you because I love you, and I know this is a tough time for you right now, but we want to be here for you, and because you're family. And I really loved that moment, which is like, I love you. And even though Billy is he left because you guys had that little problem, and even though he won't say it, he loves you too. And because like, he's angry, Billy, in the situation, that he feels like if I try to help him, he'll get angry at me and he'll pull away. And that was what was kind of annoying, is that he's like, if I do it and help him, he's gonna pull me away and yell at me. But if I don't help him or whatever, I'm not gonna have any time with him. And it's kind of like, it's kind of like, I'm already away from him. He's already, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I'm happy he was able to, like, they were able to resolve that, and now they are going to help GW out in his tough time with him having, after the events of him having his heart attack. I don't know where that storyline could go. I don't know if, like, if things could get worse for GW. I hope things will get better for GW, but we don't know what really will happen. And I'm happy, and I hope that, things are fine with all of them now. I feel like things will be fine. But I don't know, it's kind of like, it's hard that you have, like, somebody that, that you looked after, that is a son that you looked after, and now it's the other way around, where he has to look after you, and it's kind of like, he's like, and, you know what I mean, it's a stubborn thing, and I understand where GW was coming from, but all that, like, of him, being stubborn with everything. But I'm just happy that they are coming together and things are fine now, because it was stupid at the end of the day, the argument, when it's like, that's your father, be there for him, even though he's going to tell you, I don't want you to do things for me, I don't need you to do this, do that. I don't need you to make yourself feel better, as like you feel like I'm a charity case, this and that. Like, no. And I feel like that's what this whole entire episode was about, was stubbornness, even from the school board's point of view, of like, they felt like somebody else's future was like, it was more important to save than somebody else's future, of somebody else taking the blame. It's all stubbornness and everything, along with Asher on his end, him meeting that girl Jamie, which we met like in last year's episode, where we left off at prom, where he met Jamie, and the girl that works at Asher's soon-to-be stepfather's restaurant, because him, his the one dude is engaged to Asher's mother, and Jamie works at that restaurant, and Asher wants to go to this I forget what school it is, but he wants to go to this school. I think it's UCLA's school, but it's for like physical, like I think it's for like to be a trainer or something, or to be a coach, and he wants to go there because I guess it's like the best coaching staff that he can go, but it costs a lot of money. And Jamie pretty much tries to help Asher out, saying, look, hey, like Asher wants to go to the school, it's the best in the country for coaching, and he wants to become a coach, and And, is there any, but they cost this much money. He's like, and he's like, hey, like, the dude that's dating Asher's mom is kind of like, hey, Asher, this is a good idea, you know what I mean? Like, I can give you the money. But Asher doesn't want to feel like a charity case, and he feels like Jamie had no right to be to be in the position to be like, hey, kind of like guilt trip or pretty much put Asher's soon-to-be stepdad in a position where it's like, hey, Asher wants to go to the school, kind of putting him on the spotlight and pretty much saying, yeah, but that's not the case. Asher just needs to learn how to ask for help. Asher has always had the problem where, like, he doesn't like to, ask for help. That's essentially the case. Asher's always been like that, but I feel like we're going to soon see him grow because he's grown so much, that character, that we're starting to see how it's okay to ask for help. Especially when it comes to a school that you really want to go to. And mind you, he actually says to him, saying like, oh, I can work around here and I can pay you back. Like, you can pay for my first year of college, but I want to be able to work around at your restaurant and pay you back, because I will. Like, I want to be my own man. I don't want to be just some, charity case or whatever. I want to, pull my own weight. I do want to pay you back. And he's like, I respect that. You want to pay me back, but I'm happy you're willing to let me pay for your first year of college, because I know this is important to you, and I see, bright things in your future. I see that this is really what you want to do, and dreams are worth it. Dreams are worth putting money into and stuff like that. It's worth it, and I'm really happy that Asher's stepdad was cool with that, or soon to be stepdad. I mind you, I forget that man's name. Honestly, I forget what his name is, and I'm gonna try to figure out right now what his name is. I don't even know. He's not even pulling up on the charts of IMDb. I'm gonna look though, because it's gonna really annoy me that I don't know what his name is. Come on. What is it? What is it? Cannot find him for some unknown reason in here. Where is he at? I don't know if that's his name. I don't even know if this is the dude. That's not him. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below what his name is. But I was just so happy that he understood that, dreams are worth fighting for. They're worth, investing in, and he wants to do that. It was really sad that, he yelled at Jamie saying, I didn't need you to like make me sound like I'm a charity case, that I need his money or whatever. Like, I can figure it out. And he's like, I already have a girlfriend that, tried to save me. I don't need another one or whatever. And that was really sad that, he could say something like that to a person that just really wanted to help him and was willing to help him achieve his dreams, and was willing to not let him let his stubbornness get in the way of him going to his dream school to do coaching. And that's a person that Asher really needs in his life. And I'm really happy that this Jamie girl and him really hit it off in that prom episode. Is clearly they're a really good match, especially because Jamie was, she, she was almost going for a swimming scholarship or something. Or I guess something happened. I think that's what happened. Something happened where she can't swim anymore or something, or or isn't able to go to school anymore for what her passion was. Same with how, Asher wanted to go for, football, but him taking steroids affected all that in his heart. So it's kind of like, they're really made to be, especially because they're trying to find a new passion, a new calling. And I feel like that's why they fit so well. And it's going to be cool to see where him and Jamie's relationship going forward, because he said sorry to Jamie when he's going to go on stage for his graduation. Before he goes on, stage for graduation, he even says, calls Jamie up saying, I'm sorry, thank you for helping me. I didn't mean when I said this, and that. And I'm hoping the relationship is good going forward. And Olivia and Simone's, I think it's Simone's aunt. The conversation that they had where where Olivia was talking to Simone's aunt that works over in I forget what it's called, that school in Brixton, on how the conversation they were having of Olivia was asking oh, where do you think I have all these applications to all these different schools that have great great reporting, school, programs, and I don't know which one I should do. And she's like, maybe reporting isn't so good because people don't want to, sometimes people don't want to hear the truth, or hearing the truth is no one cares about it, this and that. And I was like, that's not really who Simone's aunt really is. I mean, she's all about, like, the truth getting out and all this. So I was like, that doesn't seem right. Is this like a test or something? I'm like, this doesn't seem right that she's saying all this, telling, Olivia to choose a different path of a future and everything. I was like, this must be a test. And it turned out that's exactly what it was. She's like, Olivia's like, I don't care what you have to say. When she first, when the girl came to her graduation, she's like, I don't care what you have to say. I want to tell the truth. I want to speak the truth. And that's why I want to be a reporter. And she's like, I'm happy. That will make you a great reporter, that you want to speak the truth. You know what I mean? And she's like, was it a test? And she's like, yeah, it was a test. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. So Olivia is going to be doing her reporting at, I forget what school it was. It was like GEW, or it was like, I forget what it was. It was like GAW or something, or I forget the name of the school, but it's close to, Spencer's school, which is called, Golden, I think it's called, what was it, Golden something? I forget what Spencer's college name was. Let me look it up real quick. I forget what it was. It was like Golden. Dang, it's not popping up. I forget. If you guys can let me know down in the comments below what it was called. It was like Golden something. It was like, I think it was called Golden something. I don't know. But like, it's close to Spencer's college, so it makes them be able to have their relationship work out and let the whole long distance thing, them not try to deal with that. It actually benefits Olivia that there's a good reporting school there near Spencer's college, but also it's good because it allows them to still be together, which I really do appreciate, because as I said before, I was really worried about Jordan and Simone's relationship, especially after the previous trailer that we saw for All American Homecoming, where Simone is, it looks like she was kissing Damon and everything. And I think their relationship isn't going to work out. They're long distance, even though she said that would work out. That was the whole episode. That was before the prom episode when they were at Spencer's cabin. That was the whole problem where like Jordan didn't think that, thought Simone was pushing away and thought that, their long distance wasn't going to work. And she said it will work. So I feel like that's kind of like annoying that they just had that big thing that felt like it got resolved. And then us finding out in the trailer that she's going to be kissing Damon, and it seems like, and that kind of confirms that her and Simone's relationship, that Jordan and Simone's relationship isn't going to work. That kind of annoyed me. So it's kind of like, I'm happy that we're not going to see that, hopefully, with Olivia and Spencer, because they're going to be closer. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens going forward in the next episode. But how this episode ended was, the moment where like Spencer's getting called in from South Crenshaw's board and also Beverly's board of education, and they're pretty much they're pretty much there, and they're pretty much trying to say that, hey, you either need to tell us, who was responsible, or you're going to get expelled. And everybody comes in and says, hey, I'm the one that took the trophy. I'm the one that took the trophy. They all pretty much, say, look, they pull a Spartan saying, hey, like, I'm the one that did it. I'm the one that did it. If one goes down, we all go down. And that was really awesome that, Spencer's like, I'm starting to like the feeling of being saved, you know what I mean? Of, me not being the hero all the time, but me being saved once in a while, and me, you know what I mean? Like, it felt like a change for Spencer. Like, he felt like, he wasn't always the one that had to be the hero. Somebody else could be the hero for once. And that was a really nice moment where they all came in. But the problem is that they all came to the point of Principal Carter turned in his resignation so Spencer wouldn't, so everybody else, so Spencer wouldn't get expelled, essentially. So what happened was that Principal Carter put in his resignation so Spencer wouldn't get expelled, but Spencer was not able to walk on graduation. That was the sucky part, is that he wasn't able to walk on graduation, but he was still able to get his diploma. And it was nice because, all of, Spencer and Grace, and Billy and Laura and Coop and Patience and JJ and a whole bunch of everybody else all got together and made Spencer a graduation so he could walk and get his diploma. And I thought that was really nice how they did that for him. And pretty much they all go around a campfire and they're all pretty much like, we survived high school, and they're all pretty much saying, JJ said I couldn't survive high school without you guys, and Patience said you think we're gonna stay this close forever. And then Coop's like, yeah, of course, I can't imagine anybody else could break us up. And I really feel like that's going to be a problem because they made that one pact, as everybody remembers on the one episode where they all go to Spencer's cabin. They all made the whole time capsule saying, even though no matter where we are, we'll come back here and do the time capsule. And I feel like that's kind of a hint to the time capsule where maybe that they might all split up. Things might not, things might not be the same. They might not all stay together because also they're all going off to different schools. People change after high school, and I feel like that's what we're seeing, especially in the next episode where like Jordan and JJ are all like partying it up, and they're at like this looked like this beach house, and they're all partying it up. They're all like, they're like, Jordan's like, there's time for us to get in shape and to get ready for for college, but right now this is party time. And Spencer's all about like, no, we should really we should start thinking and getting set for us being in college because we don't want to screw that up. So I don't know. That's gonna be interesting. It's already like they're in party mode. They're all like, we're all like responsibility free. We're all like we're all like we don't have to care anymore. There's a word for it. There's no consequences for us doing anything now after high school. We can do whatever we want. We don't have to worry about us not getting into college anymore. This and that. We could party it up. We could do whatever. But I feel like that's the downfall where there could be problems where like that could screw up them getting in college. That could screw up them staying on the football team. That could ruin their full ride to whatever school that they're going to. So like this, like Spencer's right in this situation, but I'm excited to see how this could affect things and like their friendships. Spencer's friendship with Jordan and JJ and all them, and how they're just ready to party. And Spencer's like, no, I want to focus up on us getting, being in college soon. So I'm excited to see how that's going to be next week on that episode. But guys, I want to know down in the comments below, what did you guys think of this episode of All American? We're back, baby, and I'm excited to keep going and keep watching and keep doing reviews for you guys. I'm just so happy we are back. It feels like we've been gone forever, and I'm just super excited to see where things could go next, especially because that moment where like Spencer and is having his own little like graduation ceremony, and he's able to like, and they like make a little like walking, they make his little like diploma ceremony. It kind of felt like there was a moment where we saw Jawbreed and he wasn't wearing his cap or gown, and that made me wonder, did he get expelled too? Or was it just Spencer that got expelled, and actually Spencer didn't even get expelled. I think it was the point of like, if Spencer wants his diploma, you have to like, or I don't know, maybe he did get expelled. I don't know. I feel like I kind of really didn't understand that. Spencer was still able to do his diploma, but he wasn't able to walk in graduation. Maybe that was the thing, like, Spencer wants his diploma, you need to take responsibility, and you need to give us your resignation so you can get his diploma, because if you want to make it sound like it was your fault, you're gonna, like, he took the blame. Principal Carter's like, it's kind of my fault, I was the one in charge here, I'm gonna put in my resignation, but you need to at least let Spencer have his diploma. I think maybe that was the kind of deal that they made, or maybe he did get expelled, but Spencer was still able to get his diploma. I'm not quite sure. Maybe it was the whole, if you want his diploma, you need to turn in your resignation. Let me know if you guys understood that a little bit more than I did. Again, it was kind of distracting because my little brother Mason was kind of on me, and I kind of wasn't able to really take every detail of the story. But also going on with Coop and Layla, I forgot about them real quick. Coop is dealing, and Coop, Patience, and Preach are all kind of dealing with the fact of, like, Preach is still dealing with the fact that Mina is asking questions, and she's getting into fights at school, and, she doesn't like the fact that no one's telling her the truth, and she keeps looking for the truth on what happened. Mind you, she thinks that Coop is the one that shot Mo, even though that's not the case, and pretty much Preach wants to tell Amina that I'm the one that, wants to tell Amina that, look, I shot your mom because, your mom was bad, and she tried going after Coop. Coop's like, that's a terrible idea. You're the only parent Amina has left, and we don't want her never wanting to talk to you again, thinking you're a monster, and then she either tries to run away or like that causes a problem where she doesn't trust you or something. Like, let me take the blame, or let's just let the fireworks cool down. Eventually she'll just come to terms with what happened, and she'll just move on. Like, let's just let it be. But it turns out Coop just ends up telling Amina, saying, hey, regardless of what Preach told you, I'm the one that shot Mo. If you're going to be mad at anybody, don't be mad at your father, be mad at me. And she said, she went away from Coop and said, I never want to speak to you again. So I don't know how that's going to go going forward. I feel like maybe is there a chance that bad things can happen with Amina? I don't know. I feel like she's really, it's scary the path she's going down to find answers. And I don't know I don't know what can happen going forward. Like, what's it gonna do now that she knows that she thinks Coop is the one that shot Mo? What's gonna happen out of this? Like, it's very scary to think that we don't know what's gonna happen. Like, is Amina just not gonna want to talk to Coop, or is there gonna be like a ripple effect where things start happening now that Amina thinks that Coop is the one that killed her mom? I don't know what's gonna happen going forward. Along with Layla, I guess she had an interview for a college, where the college is like telling her like, oh, like, if you to learn more about music, you need to do this, and that, making her learn different terms for things and everything. And, she's kind of second guessing her ability of being a producer, kind of like they made her second guess how good she is. And the one dude, his name was Clay. I think his name is Clay. I think he's a new addition to the All-American cast. Let me know if we've seen him before. I don't remember if we have. Maybe we have. I'm not quite sure. But Clay pretty much, tells Layla, look, like, you're great at what you do. You're amazing at what you do. And she's like, oh, thanks, but don't say that because, I'm not, or whatever, if I don't know any of this and that. And he's like, okay, well, meet me at the coffee place. I want to, like, I have a surprise for you, or I want you to do something. And we meet this one girl her name is I forget what her name was. Let me check it out. We meet this girl. I don't know if she was a fellow producer or she's a singer or something, but that made Layla have faith in her ability to be a producer. And I'm not sure if that, like, what the issue was, if they wanted her to do something to get into her college, or maybe they were kind of like backing out on her going to, like, on them taking her in. I'm not quite sure exactly, again, because my little brother was kind of affecting me being able to hear what was happening. But I want to know down in the comments below what exactly was happening with Layla. But, that made her, when she talked to the girl, which, the girl's name was, let me find it, I think I clicked the wrong episode. Did I click the wrong? I don't think so. No, I didn't. What was her name? It was Sabine, I think that was her name, and she gets brought in by Clay and says, she's like, I know who you are, you're really good at what you do, this. I think she was like a fellow, like, singer that wanted to be signed or something, like, by Layla, or like knew how good Layla was, and pretty much was telling Layla, don't let anybody second guess how good you are, this and that. I think she might have been a fellow producer, because that would have made more sense. So that really gave Layla confidence to be like, I'm really good. I know that I'm good, and mind you, Clay was right that it, like, they have no right to tell you, like, oh, to be a good producer, you need to do this, and that, to go all through all these, jumps and turns to be this good producer. But Clay was right when he said that, look, you already have all these, like, famous singers wanting to be signed by you. And you did that without having all this experience with producing and stuff. You learned how to do it on your own. And that's what's really impressive. Like, learn that you need to know that you're really talented and that you're amazing at what you do. And I feel like, that's when she met, Sabine is really what said, oh crap, I am that good. People are telling me I'm not good. I need to, have faith in myself that I'm that good. So it's kind of like, it was all them, like, her realizing that she is good at what she does. Because she was having doubts about how good she was. So I'm just excited to see how everything is going to go going forward, because now this is college time. We're going to see them in their element and see how things are going to go going forward in the season of them, going to college, and how that's all going to go, and see what friendships stay and what friendships go. I don't know what's going to happen. That's why I'm super excited that now we're in a different state of kind of like this is real life now. You know what I mean? Like this, we've all went through this as we graduate from school, is that sometimes we don't keep our friends from high school. And we're going to see that in the story of like, or if people stay the same on, of meaning of like, a friendship, if they turn into somebody else, and in friendships, parts. We're going to see that going forward in this season. And also next year, I'm not sure if it got confirmed for a season 5 of All American, but if it does, that will lead into more of what's possibly going to happen. But either way, I'm super excited to keep watching and to keep doing reviews for you guys. But guys, I want to know down in the comments below, what did you guys like about this episode? And are you guys excited that we are back with All American? And let me know, where do you guys think these stories are going to go going forward? Let me know where you guys think the stories are going to go going forward. And yeah, again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, like this video. I'd love to have you guys here, part of this family, a part of this channel. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. And guys, yet again, I'm sorry if if some things didn't make any sense in this review. Again, it was really hard to pay attention when my little brother was on me, on top of the fact that I usually watch it in the basement with my sister. Annie was with me, as you guys have seen here on the channel before. I review a lot of shows with Annie, if you guys are familiar with my channel. So she watches All American with me, and we usually are down in the basement, but somehow the cable box wasn't working, so we had to go upstairs in the kitchen, and then that's why my little brother was on me, because we were in the kitchen and we weren't in the basement. So hopefully we'll be in the basement next week, and I'll be able to really focus up more and really pay attention to what's really going on. But hopefully this video was good for you guys, and you guys understand what I was trying to say. Again, inform me if I got some things wrong, to let me know down in the comments below of what exactly was happening. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, like this video. I would love it, again, if you guys come join this family. We're all about spreading love, positivity, and motivation. And guys, we are almost to 500 subscribers. Literally, we're at 450, almost to 500. And yet again, guys, if we hit 500 subscribers, it lets me activate the community tab, which lets me be able to communicate with you guys more, and to ask you guys what you guys want to see more here on the channel. And also it lets me put up polls for you guys, and lets me be able to talk to you guys about different subjects. And it's a better way to communicate with you guys. It opens a whole new way of communicating to you guys, to know what you guys want to see here and more on the channel. And just overall talk and ask you guys about a whole bunch of questions and stuff like that, or just even talk to you guys. So again, I would love it, again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe to the channel and put those notifications, and like this video. I would really appreciate it. But guys, that was a video. I'm going off to actually go watch All American Homecoming now. I'm going to go watch that and put my review up. It's probably going to be up later tonight, if not maybe around 1 in the morning, or maybe it'll probably be up maybe around, I don't know, I want to say maybe around 12, if not maybe at the latest 1 in the morning. But it will be up for you guys, my All-American Homecoming review. I probably will be dropping episode by episode reviews for that show as well, depending on how much I like the first episode. But mind you, sometimes you can't tell if you like something by the first episode. I'll probably keep watching, and I'll probably keep reviewing it for you guys, because it is connected to All American, and that could sometimes stories could cross over. So it's probably good to watch this show to understand maybe what's going to happen in All American, vice versa. So we'll be doing episode reviews for All American Homecoming, and because I'm going to try to get those reviews out for you guys, so that way, that's another thing we can add to the All American fan base and the collection of my reviews. But guys, that was a video. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.